What if you prayed for 10 minutes before bed every night for 30 days straight? What would happen to your sleep, your nighttime thoughts, and the way you end each day? This question touches something deep because nighttime is when we are most vulnerable. It is when the masks fall, when exhaustion reveals who we really are, when the worries we ignored during the day come back with full force. Nighttime prayer is not a new practice. From the earliest Christians to Jewish and Islamic traditions, there has always been recognition that the last thought before sleep shapes not only your dreams, but also who you will be when you wake up. Modern neuroscience confirms this. The last few minutes before sleep are when your brain consolidates memories and processes emotions. If you spend this time scrolling through infinite social media feeds or watching violent news, you are programming your subconscious mind with chaos. But what if for 30 days you replace that with 10 minutes of prayer? We are not talking about memorized prayers you repeat without thinking. We are talking about 10 real minutes, alone, in the dark, talking to something greater than yourself, surrendering the weight of the day before closing your eyes. 30 days, 300 minutes of intentional silence before sleep. It sounds like little, but it might be enough to change the quality of your rest and the peace of your mind. The tradition of nighttime prayer crosses all major religions and exists for a clear reason. Night has always been the moment of human fear. Our ancestors feared darkness because it brought real danger. Predators hunted at night. Enemy tribes attacked under the cover of darkness. And even without these physical dangers today, our brain still carries this ancestral fear. That is why anxiety gets worse at night. That is why insomnia hits harder when you are alone in the dark. And that is why so many spiritual traditions developed nighttime rituals of protection. In Judaism, the Shema is recited before sleep as a declaration of faith and protection. In Catholicism, the nightly examination of conscience was mandatory practice in medieval monasteries. In Islam, the Isha prayer marks the end of the day with submission to the divine. All these practices recognize the same truth. How you end the day determines how you start the next one. Jesus prayed at night. David wrote nighttime psalms about his anguish in the dark hours. Paul and Silas prayed at midnight in a filthy prison, and something extraordinary happened. We are not saying you will have earthquakes or miraculous liberations, but there is specific brain chemistry that happens when you stop, breathe, and talk to God before sleeping. Your sympathetic nervous system, which controls the fight or flight response, begins to slow down. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thoughts, has one last chance to process the day before you sleep. And something more subtle happens. You stop being the person who needs to solve everything alone. For 10 minutes, you surrender control. The challenge works like this. For 30 consecutive days, 10 minutes before the time you normally turn off the light and try to sleep, you will stop everything. It does not matter how tired you are. It does not matter how much you just want to collapse in bed. You will sit or kneel in a specific place in your room that you chose beforehand. It could be beside the bed. It could be in a chair in the corner. It could be on the floor. The place matters because it creates a ritual, and rituals program your brain. You will pray for 10 complete minutes. Use a silent timer if necessary. Do not pray lying down because you will fall asleep. Do not pray with your phone in hand because you will get distracted. Pray with empty hands, closed eyes, focused mind. The content of the prayer is free. It can be gratitude for the day. It can be confession of your mistakes. It can be requests for people you love. It can be lamentation about things that went wrong. It can be simply respectful silence before the mystery of God. There is no right way. There is only honesty. After the 10 minutes, you go straight to bed. No phone, no television, nothing else. The last thing in your mind before sleeping needs to be that prayer. 30 days in a row. If you skip a night, you can continue the next day, but try not to break the sequence. What can you realistically expect from these 30 days? First, improvement in sleep quality. Not because prayer is magic, but because you are creating an intentional transition between being awake and sleeping. Your brain learns that those 10 minutes are the signal that it is time to shut down. Second, reduction of intrusive nighttime thoughts. You know that moment when you lie down and your mind starts reviewing all the embarrassing conversations you had during the week. When you pray before sleeping, you have already processed the day. You already surrendered the worries. Your brain has less unprocessed material to ruminate on. Third, greater emotional clarity. Nighttime prayer works like a spoken journal. You are forcing your mind to name what you felt during the day: anger, sadness, fear, joy. When you name emotions out loud, even quietly, you reduce the power they have over you. Fourth, a sense of not being alone. This is psychological, but also deeply human. Ending the day talking to God, even if you are not sure He is listening, breaks the loneliness many people feel when turning off the light. Fifth, different dream patterns. Many people report more vivid dreams, sometimes even comforting ones, when they start praying before sleep. We are not saying God will speak to you in dreams, but we are saying your subconscious mind works with the material you give it before sleeping. Tell me in the comments, what goes through your head in the last few minutes before you fall asleep? Is it worries, regrets, or do you already have some nighttime ritual that helps you? I want to know. Now let us get practical, because without this, you will not start. First step, choose your average bedtime. If you normally turn off the light at 11 at night, your prayer starts at 10:50. Be precise. Second step, choose the physical place where you will pray. Do not change places. The brain associates places with actions. That specific corner will become your sacred nighttime space. Third step, eliminate distractions 30 minutes before. Turn off the television. Get off social media. Tell whoever lives with you that you need these 10 minutes in silence. Fourth step, prepare your body. Go to the bathroom, drink water if you need to. Put on your pajamas. You do not want physical interruptions during the 10 minutes. Fifth step, use a timer. 10 minutes seems like little, but when you are in silence, it feels eternal at first. The timer ensures you will not keep checking the clock. Sixth step, structure your prayer if you do not know where to start. A simple suggestion: 3 minutes of gratitude for the day. 3 minutes confessing mistakes or asking forgiveness. 3 minutes making requests for other people. 1 final minute of pure silence. Seventh step, do not judge the quality of your prayer. Some days you will feel deep connection. Other days, it will feel like you are talking to yourself. Both are valid. Continue. Eighth step after prayer, go straight to bed. Resist the temptation to check your phone one more time. The last information that enters your mind before sleeping needs to be that conversation with God, not a notification about something irrelevant. Now for the essential precautions. First, do not turn this into a heavy religious obligation. If one day you are too exhausted, pray 3 minutes instead of 10. It is not about perfection, it is about consistency. Second, be careful with selfish prayers. If you spend 10 minutes asking for material things for yourself, you are not praying. You are making a wish list. Balance is essential. Third, some nights you will cry. This is good. Nighttime prayer tends to break down the emotional defenses we maintain during the day. If you feel like crying, cry. It is part of the process. Fourth, your family might find it strange at first. Explain what you are doing. Ask for respect for those 10 minutes. But do not force anyone to join if they do not want to. Fifth, do not expect God to answer in an audible voice. Some people report sensations of peace. Others feel nothing. Both experiences are normal. The practice has value independent of mystical sensations. Sixth, if you have clinical insomnia or severe anxiety disorders, this practice may help, but it does not replace professional treatment. Use it as a complement, not as a magical cure. Seventh, if you skip several days, do not give up. Starting over is always an option. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to create a new pattern for ending the day. What is the biggest difficulty you imagine facing when trying to pray 10 minutes before bed? Is it finding time? Is it knowing what to say? Comment here. Let us talk about it. So we return to the initial question. What if you prayed for 10 minutes before bed every night for 30 days straight? The truth is, you will not know until you try. I can tell you about sleep neuroscience studies. I can cite ancient spiritual traditions. I can tell you stories of people who changed their lives with this practice. But none of that matters if you do not test it yourself. These 30 days will not solve all your problems. They will not cure your insomnia instantly. They will not make your worries disappear. But they will do something subtle and powerful. They will teach you to end the day intentionally. Most people end the day from exhaustion, not from choice. They simply collapse when they cannot stay awake anymore. But when you pray before sleeping, you are choosing how to close the day's cycle. You are saying, consciously, I did what I could today. What was not done stays for tomorrow. What I did wrong, I acknowledge. What I am grateful for, I name. And now I rest. This internal declaration, repeated for 30 nights, rebuilds your relationship with sleep. You stop seeing the bed as a place where you pass out because you are destroyed. You start seeing it as a place where you consciously surrender to rest, having first surrendered your burdens to something greater than you. Maybe you will discover that nighttime prayer is not for you. Maybe you prefer to meditate, or write in a journal, or simply breathe in silence. All of that is valid. But it is also possible you will discover something ancient and powerful. That ending the day talking to God changes not only how you sleep, but also who you are when you wake up. 30 days, 300 minutes, 10 minutes per night that might become the most important part of your day. If you are going to try this challenge, leave a comment below saying I will try. You do not need to explain anything. Just that commitment is already a beginning. And if you know someone who has trouble sleeping, who carries nighttime anxiety, who always ends the day anguished, share this video. It might be exactly what that person needs to hear right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because every week there is a new challenge in the what-if style. Spiritual practices that most people have never tried, but that can reveal something deep about who you really are. And there is a video right here that reached you for a reason. Click on it. We will meet there. Walk in faith, live with wisdom, and join us for the next what if. Good night and sweet dreams.